During the transition from Mexican control to an established, formalized American government, a period of nearly 2 years, California was essentially lawless. Legal authority, if any, was very localized and frequently impromptu. Often a local miners' committee made the rules. But by 1849, California started the process of becoming a state, writing a constitution, electing a legislature, passing through a stage of self-governing dominion, and ultimately gaining statehood in 1850. But it was a rocky road. When the Constitutional Convention selected San Jose for the capital, a delegation of San Jose residents had promised the delegates that a suitable building for the legislature would be provided. San Jose did not deliver. In December 1849, the newly elected legislators found a barely usable, unfinished adobe box. The chambers were unanimously deemed unsatisfactory, and one of the very first acts passed by the legislature was to immediately move the capital to Monterey and start again. However, due to the very muddy roads, San Jose would have 36 inches of rain that season, and the inability to move anything anywhere, the legislature tabled the measure and proceeded with business. Thomas Jefferson Greene was among 16 senators and 36 assemblymen elected to the legislature and scheduled to take their oaths of office in El Pueblo de San Jose de Guadalupe, the new state capital, on December 15, 1849. When the gold rush began, Greene contracted gold fever and headed to Sacramento. He had been in the River City only a few months before he was elected to the new California State Senate. Perhaps his new neighbors were impressed by his lengthy legislative resume. Greene had already served in the legislative bodies of North Carolina, the Territory of Florida, and the Republic of Texas. As chairman of the Senate Finance Committee, Thomas Jefferson Greene was tasked with finding some source of revenue for the new state. He shepherded legislation, creating bonds, property tax, a poll tax, and the initially popular but later wildly unpopular foreign miners' tax of 1850. Greene also authored legislation to establish the College, later University, of California, and was an early benefactor of the California State Library. But Greene's tenure is best remembered for the nickname he applied to the first California legislature. He called it the Legislature of 1,000 Drinks. With his lengthy legislative experience, Greene appreciated the value of alcohol-fueled lobbying, and he encouraged his colleagues to meet regularly in the local taverns. When a session concluded, Greene would loudly declare, "Let's have a drink, let's have 1,000 drinks." It did not take much effort to persuade the lawmakers to comply. In 1988, a plaza was constructed in downtown San Jose to commemorate the site of the state's first capital. Carved in granite, next to a giant brass seal of the state of California, are the words, "Let's have a drink, let's have 1,000 drinks."